There we go. Do not disturb is on. I had to pop that back on. Okay. I always get interrupted on my Monday lives, and it always messes with my Zoom. I need a different rag. I wonder if I don't think I have any. That's okay. We're going to use this little dirty dog. My makeup brushes have seen better days. And that's because of all last week. Anyways, I'm going to wait for some people to pop on. All right. Hello. I'm a little bit late. I'm actually going to be really late picking up my groceries because my other thing I've had a lot today already. Anyways, we are going to talk about holidays. Okay. They're ever going to do Black Fridays? Yeah. Well, yeah, do you think they're going to do yes, they are going to do a Black Friday sale. I was actually just getting into that. So we're going to talk about what's happening in November. I did a live in my Facebook on the 1st, and I just, my Facebook group, I love it. Yes, Saint is, and I do believe Beauty Society is as well, but Saint will be doing Black Friday, and, doesn't everybody? Anyway, I went on my Facebook to do my live. I do that on the 1st of every month. I'm always live. I think it's probably the only time I go live in there because it's just not YouTube. YouTube's the best. Good morning. YouTube is my favorite. Woo, getting that brush cleaner up down my throat. YouTube's my favorite to go live. You guys are always so engaging, so interactive. Oh my God, it's November. I'm so excited. If you know, I love Thanksgiving more than Christmas. It is Christmas without gifts. It's the only time your time and your presence is the gift. It's the only time people are genuinely bummed that you're showing up empty-handed. Because if there's one thing, when you go to somebody's house, if you are a guest at somebody's Thanksgiving, you want to bring something. Wine is always nice if it's a wine place. I never recommend bringing hard alcohol to Thanksgiving. Mine has it banned. And 2, if you're going to bring flowers, amazing. Bring it in a vase. If you're ever going to be going as a guest anywhere, always bring your flowers in a vase or already in something. Because then whoever's hosting has to stop and go handle that. Tom Cruise cake is ordered. But that's not for Thanksgiving. That is for gingerbread day. But I did order the cruise cake. Always ordering the cruise cake. Who here knows about the cruise cake? Who's heard? All you have to do is hashtag cruise cake. Tom Cruise cake. Who's heard about it? If you haven't, I'll tell the story. If I get a no, what's the cruise cake? I will tell the cruise cake story. But if you've been here a while, you know the cruise cake. It is ordered. You have to order it early because they do run out and you reserve the dates because it does ship and you can schedule your ship date. So I do actually get it delivered the days before Thanksgiving because I know I'm home. And so my cruise cake is actually being delivered Thanksgiving Eve. It's one of the things on my list. And it just goes into the freezer until a couple of days before needed. And then, yeah. So anyways, cruise cakes, cruising. It's coming. It's coming. And my gingerbread day is, how much is it? I think the price went up. I should have brought my thing. It is over $100 for this cake. All right. So my gingerbread day is, I believe, the 13th. I'm contemplating changing it, but that will be cruise cake day. Because nobody really eats at gingerbread day. It's all snackies, snackies. And so I put it on the thing. Okay, hold on just a second. We got the weeds. I always like to hang out here so we can get the weeds. And I'm also cleaning up some of these doggone brushes because doggone these brushes. We're going to use the smudge brush today because it's my only eyeshadow brush that's pretty much clean. Everything else is bogged down with black from Halloween. Halloween looks were so fun. I had so much fun doing those Halloween looks that I actually created a secret Pinterest board. Try to make it. It's really good. Just don't forget the chocolate chips. Or the white chocolate chips. Okay. I think that's what makes it as special as it is the white chocolate chips. Okay. Hello, Alice. All right. Oh, I got distracted. What was I talking about? What was I talking about? It wasn't just a cruise cake. It was something else. Anyway, oh, Halloween looks. I have a secret board saved on Pinterest for next October. So next October, I'm going to do more than just 4. All right. Okay. We're going to dig into our makeup and we're going to talk about what's coming with Saint. Okay, Beauty Society is great. I love the skincare. We're going to start with my under eyes because doggone, I need my upgrade today. I have not been having a very good time sleeping. Perimenopause sweats, anybody? Anyways, it was a bad night. All right. You know, of the age, sleeping. Oh, you know what happened. It was a bad night. Anyways, so I need my upgrade. This stuff just, it just feels nice. It is nice. It's super hydrating if you have dry under eyes. A lot of people get that really dry skin under their eyes. This stuff is good. Lymphatic drainage because you're massaging it with this little cold thing. I don't even keep this in the fridge. A lot of people do. You can. You don't have to. It's really good. Okay. My under eyes, this is by Beauty Society, and this is called Upgrade, and it's a caffeinated botanical eye cream, and I love it. It's so much better than just like putting a little thing on your finger and rubbing it around. This stuff is so good. There's a link in the description for it. I highly recommend it. I mean, I always have more than one on hand because if it runs out, when I'm on my last tube, I'll usually buy a tube. But I do know Beauty Society does. I love advent calendars. And who doesn't like an advent calendar? You can rip into it every day or one day at a time. And how often as an adult do we get to be surprised? Okay? Get yourself an advent calendar. I know Beauty Society is probably doing one, and they had this in one of them. They have a lot of things. There's new stuff in there. There's only stuff in there, and then there's classics in there. You definitely want to invest in the advent calendar. It's worth so much more than what you're paying for it, if that makes sense. So the value of it versus what you're paying for it is worth it. An advent calendar is fun. It's good. You get lip stuff, you get lipstick, you get makeup, you get skincare, and it's always good. This stuff is good. You should subscribe. If you subscribe, you get an extra discount. It's so good. Okay, this is always one of my preps. I look forward to this every morning, and I always keep it with my makeup because I want to do it right before my makeup, and then I always give it a last little rubberoo. I do my makeup last, so this gives it time to just like soak in, and I spend a little time talking. I spend a little time doing makeup. I mean, I've been here for almost 10 minutes, and I haven't really done a doggone bit of makeup. But you should subscribe. This stuff is really good. But also, subscribe to my channel. Turn on notifications. I'm here every Monday. I do long lives every Monday. And then I try to do shorter form videos throughout the week. Try. Shorts are not my shtick, man. I talk too much. I get too detailed. I get too teachy. And they're so hard. They're so hard. But there will be advent calendars for Beauty Society. I'm going to go bet on. There will probably be, I want to say, a discount based off of purchase. I don't know for sure. Beauty Society really doesn't give us that big of a heads up anytime they're doing anything. It's usually, hey, this starts tomorrow. I don't like it. But I like their stuff. So I'm going to hybrid today using their makeup because I want to show it all, because I think this month I need to be showing both because Black Friday is coming. Okay. But yes, please subscribe. I love that when I finish my lives, I can see if I got any subscribers. It does tell me like you gained this many, and I'm like, oh, that's so fun. It's like a fun little surprise for me, and it makes me all excited. Okay, so we're gonna do our makeup, but we're always gonna start with eyes, because if you get any eyeshadow fallout, it's gonna mix with your makeup. It's gonna make your eyes look more mature, more deep, and we don't want deep under our eyes. We wanna be deep, but not under our eyes. All right, and you want a good primer, especially if you have maturing skin. So I am 44 for the next few days. I am 44. I am not 45. And with that comes all kinds of things. This year, I think my gift, because I get a gift every year. My body gifts me things. And my gift is when my visitor comes, not just am I highly emotional the week before, I am extremely irritable during. I am a crazy person. I'm not just like, the things that don't annoy me that week. And the things that annoy me enrage me. It's fun. And I can feel it, and it just bubbles inside of me. It's so, what a gift, right? Wow. But I can feel it. And I know. Okay, so we're gonna do our eyeshadow, and with the eyeshadow, okay, with the eyeshadow, if you have discoloration, if you use eyelash serum, which Beauty Society's coming out with one, and let's fingers crossed this comes out for Christmas. That would be awesome. You want little things like these. This is my eyeshadow primers by Sinjens. I don't sell it, my friend does. So if you get this, you support my friend, and I love that, especially during the holidays. And this is by far the best I have ever gotten. It does not crease. It will last you all day, all into the night. And when you have holiday parties coming up, that's money. All right, link in the description for that also. Okay, we're gonna take this and we're gonna prep. We find out as Saint artists, which is the eyeshadow I'm gonna be using today, obviously it's the only one I use, is they are releasing to us, they're telling us, not releasing to us, they are telling us what the goods are tomorrow. So they do two things in November. They do a holiday release, which is new goodies. Typically there's palettes, there's everything. I'm hoping that there is a advent calendar again. I love my advent if you go back in my history on my shorts, that is a short I do because it is so, I have so much fun creating an eyeshadow one day at a time. I open it one day at a time. I don't know what it is. You get to see my reaction. You get to see whatever look I create with it, and they're fun. I hope they do another advent calendar. It'd be nice if they mixed it up with lip and cheek, or is it an eyeshadow? And they got rid of all the powder illuminators, so I feel like it could be so good. Tell me something good. Okay. Okay. So I hope there's an advent calendar, but they will be having new releases for holiday. Those holiday releases will come out on the 18th for you guys. I get access to buy them day after tomorrow. So I'll get to touch and feel and make all the content and all the, anyways, if you are my customer, if you are a part of my email list, I always tell my customers in my email list first. They are the first to know everything. If you want to be on my email list, click the link. There's a little envelope on top. Email me and we can get you on the list, okay? You don't have to be my customer. No purchase necessary to be on my email list. And so there's that. Also, it's almost family Christmas card time, and I'm excited about this year's Christmas card because it's an adventure we did last summer, and I haven't even made the card yet. I'm already excited about it. So you can join my family Christmas card list if you want. I call it the nice list. And so there will be a link to get on my family Christmas card list, which is always just fun. Who doesn't like getting a Christmas card? I feel like they're coming back. I have a friend that's doing an old fun one, okay, where they got dressed up like 90s style. Oh, I wish my husband would do it. Maybe next year. Maybe next year we'll do something extra fun. This year, I think we're gonna really have one on it, okay? Okay, but this is what I've looked at through history of Saint. Sorry. They will have holiday releases. I will find out what they are tomorrow. I get to buy them day after tomorrow. And then they get released to you on the 18th. There is also a new collection. So the last collection was Home Sweet Home. And it was these colors. These were my favorite collections. I loved these. Great for your lips, great for your eyes, great for an illuminator, great for your Cupid's bow. This collection, so pretty on the eyes. It looks like a color it is, but it's not. I would almost bet that they will either be part of the holiday collection or they will be part of Black Friday. All of them, the full collection. They are part of last year's advent calendar, and then they released them. There's a new collection coming out this month that is available on the 15th. I am not allowed to share it until the 10th, which means I get to make all kinds of fun eyeshadow looks between now and then. All right, so, but if you're on my email list, okay. It's also not that hard to figure out what they are, but it is a collection where you get a palette for, which I love these palettes because I use them for so many things. So one, I keep the collection in one. I also keep a palette too for my eyebrows. I also keep a palette too for my setting powder. These are handy little dogs, and it's also nice to get all up in your business. I'm hoping they come back out with these mirrors because it has a regular and then it also has a magnifying one that's, can we tell? There we go. Anyways, it's dirty. Okay, we're gonna do our eyeshadow now. But on Black Friday, that is when, if you are low on anything, if you are wanting to restock for winter, if you are wanting to, where is my doggone brush I was just playing with? There it is. Those get all discounted. Old palettes, eyeshadows, lip and cheeks, highlights, contours, they discount on Black Friday. So if there's things you're wanting that are already available, brushes, brush collections, those kinds of things, you're needing some more bronzer, who doesn't? That's when you're gonna get those. So make a wish list. You can make a wish list, just go to the website and it under add to cart is add to list and make yourself a list. Okay, I feel like I've gotten that out. So now we can dig into makeup because it's so hard for me to do two things at one time. I like Christmas. That's it. I like Christmas. I love Thanksgiving. Anyways, that's okay. Thanksgiving is just warm, fuzzy. I'm decorating the heck out of my house after I get done here today. And yeah, big news on my property. Remember how last time I was here, we were talking about how we had gotten rid of the bear? And we got rid of the bear. Well, we got our meat, we got our jerky, and it is yummy. It's much better than the last bear that we got, that was gotten, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. We're not a hunting family. Like, we're not a big game family. My husband doesn't go out elk hunting or any of that stuff. We love the look of elk. They come to our yard all the time and they poop everywhere. But we get bears on our property, and I don't know about you, but I want my kids to be able to play in the yard without being eaten. So we do, if a bear wanders onto our property, we eliminate it, make a rug out of it, save its skull, eat the meat. We use all of it. Well, we got another one a couple weeks ago, and we're getting ready to get the skull. We are turning it into a full mount because my husband thinks it'll be funny. And I'm like, that's an expensive joke. But we just got the jerky, and it's so fun. We went to a swim meet this weekend and mortified one of the girls on the team. And she was like, Mom, they're eating bear. Anyway, the other morning we got up, we were having coffee, and we heard our dog barking. There was another bear in the yard. We have a new bear already with her baby. With her baby. Now, I like a good bear. They're fun to look at. They're majestic. They're adorable. We have this picture of it just scratch or video scratch. It's so adorable. But a mama bear, we know what mama bears are. We joke about them. We buy shirts because of what it means to be a mama bear. Our dog ran down the yard towards it in the dark. They saw the eyes, the big eyes and the little eyes. Ran down the bears, went down the hill, and then I heard a sound I've never heard in all the bear movies I've ever watched. The Revenant, Legends of the Fall. The noise that came from this mama bear, I've never heard before. My dog came back, but I was like, I am not prepared for this, because the last bear that we killed because the day before it came up when I was at the end of the yard. It came up the side. Anyways, I am terrified now. So my husband's gonna teach me how to use some guns. I'm terrified. Okay, we're gonna do some makeup. Okay, besides the zoo, I've not interacted with the bear. Okay, so I think it depends on the bear. I think it depends on the bear. It depends on the season. Because right now in Oregon, which is where I live, they don't hibernate because it doesn't get cold enough to hibernate. So they're around all year, but we have multiple apple trees in our yard, and it is apple fall season. So what that means is that our apples have fallen from the tree and they're extremely fragrant, When you walk through the yard, you can smell them, which means they can smell them. And so they're just hungry, and they're just getting all their food because all the berries, all the fruit is going away. Their food sources are going away, and they don't really want to be garbage bears. And so they're not aggressive. A male bear is not aggressive unless it feels threatened. A brown bear is supposed to get big and loud and tell it to go away. A black bear, you want to run, but they run really fast. I have a video of it. they run really fast. And the way that they're like bats. They look small until they stretch out. They're fast, okay? The Grizzly Man. Oh, that one, we watched that one. Okay, so this is a makeup video, guys, okay? This is an etch, or not an etch brush, this is a smudge brush, and I really like this brush, especially if you have mature eyes, because mature eyes have a lot of movement. You can tap around on it, okay? There we go. We are gonna use this end. I'm gonna go to my pressed pigments, I think. I wanna do something a slight bit different, but I'm unsure. I'm gonna use a pressed pigment called Everly as my transition shade. I'm gonna change that because I saw this color. I'm gonna use Coral as my transition shade. And it looks darker on video. It's a smidge lighter, but it is on the orangey side. I like orange. And they're tough. They don't break when you drop them. Here's what I like about Saint. So if you're unfamiliar with Saint, Saint is a customizable makeup. They have eyeshadows. They have pressed pigments, which I think are the same as matte shadows. Personal opinion. I think some of our matte shadows are more pigmented than our pressed pigments. And then we have shimmer shadows. And everything is magnetic. Okay, everything is customized. You buy them one at a time. They're $14 an eyeshadow. But here's my thing. Like, you spend a god-awful amount on those Smirgin Decays and those Smart palettes, and you use maybe a quarter of the colors. What if you had a palette of eyeshadows that were all colors that you use? That's where Saint comes in, is that you get to customize it. And they have palettes that are small, so you don't have to buy a palette this big. Okay, but then they have makeup, which is highly pigmented creams, which is so good for maturing skin. But these colors are foundation. Everything is a foundational coverage, and it's 80% pigmentation, roughly $16 to $18 a color, whereas traditional makeups are more expensive, and they're about 20 to 40%. So if you're doing a cream stick like Hourglass, this puppy is, I want to say in the 40 range. I want to say it's 42. I'm unsure completely, but it is 40% pigmentation. This is 80% pigmentation, and it's $16. You get great coverage, great price, amazing coverage, and it's gonna look really good. I always use the contours, the bronzers, and the blushes with traditional makeup, which I'm gonna be showing, but first we're starting with eyeshadow. But I just had to say that right out the gate because whatever. Okay, so we're gonna take this brush and we're gonna go into Coral, and we're gonna talk about placements, and we're going to talk about transitioning colors on the face. But I always add a tiny shimmer shadow that's a champagne shimmer on the brow bone. You want a little bit of shine on those brow bones. It helps give the illusion of lift. And when you start getting a little bit older, all you're doing is trying to show lift. You buy the special bras, you buy the special pants, you wear the heels, you do the things that make everything go up. Your makeup should do that too. All right, and your makeup should be put on with the colors and the style that you like, not the way somebody else told you to wear it. So I give a lot of suggestions. I get into the nitty gritty, I get into the details, I get into the whys, but I'm really just giving you options to try. It's makeup, it should be fun, or we're doing it wrong. So I'm gonna use the bigger end of this brush, and we're gonna pop this. I am not hooded, pardon my breakout. Last week was a doozy on makeup. I have a heavy droop over here, so I'm gonna take this orange color and I'm going to bring it up onto this real estate here, on the front yard, if you will, okay? There's a lot of real estate here. You shouldn't let it go to waste, all right? And if you do your shimmer first, then it gets to be a highlight like it's supposed to be, but it's not gonna compromise the placement of your additional colors. And you should work from your least to most when you're working with eyeshadow. So your least would be that shimmer. And I always put a powder base because powders blend best on powders. But you should be putting your transition shade on before the big show, okay? It's like putting on a petticoat under a fluffy skirt, okay? You wanna put this on, and anything, if you work in reverse, all it does is it compromises the position of the shade. So if I put shimmer on after this, it would push this coral color down, which is why I do it in the opposite direction. But I like a lighter, brighter transition shade, but I also like a shade of orange with things. And look at the way it just kind of gives the illusion that I don't have this heavy droop going on From the front, I don't look hooded, but from the side, I have that heavy droop. It's quite the illusion, but adding this color is gonna help hide that, all right? So we're just doing the same thing over here. We're staying in that real estate, keeping it arching in the same, you have your crease, you have the shape of your eye, you wanna have this go in a similar shape. Don't let it go straight across always. It's really just dependent on what shape of your eye you have and the way you like your eyes to look. And I like my eyes to look like they go in an up and out motion because then it makes them look younger. But taking care of your skin is a good start to good looking makeup, if that makes sense. So I use Beauty Society because they have so many regimens for so many different skin types. So there's a quiz, there's a link for it if you want to try it, if you're looking for a good skincare. But my thing is that I have maturing skin that's oily. There's a lot of regimens out there that are not for maturing oily skin. Everybody just assumes that once you start getting older, you shrivel up like a raisin. I ooze like I ooze. I'm oily, okay? So finding a regimen that works with my oily skin, I don't want to do something to my skin that's going to make it produce more oil and then I have to put something else on top of it to help combat it. I want everything I put on my face to work with the fact that I produce a lot of oil on my face. And so Beauty Society does that for me. If you have acne prone skin with maturity, there's not a lot of regimens that have mature acne prone skin regimens also. And so finding a skincare that listens to the people and the problems that they're having, I call them problems. I think my oily skin's a problem. I think I still get breakouts at 44. So it listens to what people are having issues with. All right, next color I'm gonna go into, I'm gonna switch to the short, more round end. My favorite brown, which I think should go in almost every person's palette, is Oak. I like Oak. Oak goes with warms like peanut butter and jelly. I say it all the time. We're gonna use this little round end and I'm gonna go on the outer part of my eye. I'm going out past my outer corner and working upward and out onto that real estate again, base of the brow bone, okay? Base of the brow bone, pushing it over, and it's gonna work with that illusion of lift, all right? We're just gonna build this up. It's easier to build up than to try to bring down, but you're stacking this on top of that transition shade, and then you can push this in as far as you want and just let it blend in. And also, this is just a good everyday look. You can go to work with this. I don't do super glammy kind of makeup. I'm not a cut crease girl. I'm not gonna put my makeup on and it's gonna make me look like I don't have skin. It's gonna look like I got skin, because I do. I don't use filters. I don't blur things. I've got stuff, I've got pores. I got stuff, and I show my stuff all the way through. But at the end of this, you're not gonna see any of this, okay? All that'll be gone. All right, grabbing it again, but just looking at that, it just gives the eye a little shape, but everything you put on should have some kind of a purpose of what you're looking to do with your makeup. And I also like something that can be easily transitioned, especially in the holiday season, where you're gonna be going to potentially things after work. So for me, this month, we have a banquet we're going to, and I know I have to go coach a swim team and then immediately change into an outfit for a banquet. So I can do my makeup in a way that's very everyday, so the middle school girls aren't making fun of me and giggling at me, even though they will anyways. But then I can walk out, get in my car, open my palette, and I can add a few things onto my everyday makeup to punch it up to where I need it to be, okay? I haven't figured out what we're wearing yet, but there's a theme and I'm really shooting for yodelers. I wanna be a German yodeler for this event. It's adventures around the world, and what kind of an adventure isn't being on a mountain yodeling, right? Anyways, we're taking this Oak, we're bringing it around. Oak is a really nice, cool toned brown, and it also works really well as a brow color, which I will show because I use it in my brow kit here. I have two browns. I've got Trust and I've got Oak. I do use Trust quite a bit, but I can make this with a wet brush. I can make this darker so it gives you some versatility to it. But I find that to be a very common brow color. All right, the next color I'm gonna go into is gonna be a shimmer. And I think it's a really, this is the color I put on my brow bone up here. So now I'm gonna take that same color, because I like when I can use something more than once, and I'm just gonna pop this on the lid. And this is just gonna make it a nice, subtle, everyday look. And then I'm gonna show you at the end how to punch this up to being an evening look, I think, for holidays. It's really just a change of a few things. And I like that about makeup. I like when you can do your makeup with the thought of what am I doing later today? Easy. Okay, we're gonna put in some eyeliner. I'm gonna be using Saint's pencil here. This is the black. I need to take a sip of this. Oh my gourd. I just like the holidays. I'm not a big Christmas fan. Look at that mug. Can you guys see it? It says Bah Humbug. I'm so excited about it. Okay, so here's the eye makeup. Here's the thing about eye makeup. Never doing your eye makeup first is hard, because here you question everything about it and you're like, I don't know about that. But then when you get the rest of your makeup on, it goes, that's clicking sounds. It all comes together. Okay, we're gonna use Saint's pencil. Now, here's what I've noticed with these doggone pencils. They are a bit of a booger once they are past that pointy fresh point. So that's the wrong one. I'm gonna show you one I haven't used a lot of. So you get them and they look like this, and this is really great for waterlining. It's a great pencil, but once it gets past this point, you just gotta switch to a brush. So I use the endpoint brush, which I need to clean up just a bit because Halloween was fun. I don't know if anybody saw all the things. I don't know what anybody's favorite was, but it made my daughter change her costume. She was gonna be Jasmine. I had all kinds of eye makeup worked out for Jasmine. And then she decided to be a pirate because she really liked my witch makeup. And she really wanted a scar. So I did a scar with a toothpick and some red lipstick. It was very easy. Okay, we're gonna take the endpoint brush. If you don't have brush cleaner and you don't even use Saint, this is a really good one because it cleans, conditions, and sanitizes, and it's ready to go. All right, we're gonna take a small mirror. We're gonna take a nice creamy silk brush. Now they're called silks because of the way that they are so soft, but they set and they don't transfer. So we're gonna pop this onto the brush, and I just basically pull down. I find this to be much easier. I like a good waterline because I think it helps my lashes look fuller. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna go under the lashes, and I'm just gonna draw on that waterline with this brush across the lashes. It's not that hard. You just push it onto the lash, roll, and pull. That's it. And that's how I've been waterlining. Grab a little more if you need to. Put it on, grab and pull. This stuff sets pretty quick. And once it sets, stop waterlining. Otherwise, it's just gonna pull it off. All right, because it is a waterline. So it is a little more silky than skin. All right, same thing over here. You go on the lashes. I need to turn it. Roll it onto the waterline and pull. Roll it onto the waterline, pull. Roll it onto the waterline, pull. That's the easiest way I have found, so you don't feel like you're gonna stab yourself in the eye. But also, if you're not a waterliner, don't become one. You don't have to. It's your face. You get to do what you want with makeup. It's your prerogative. We wear our makeup for us. We really don't wear it for anybody else. Despite what they think, the makeup's not for them. The makeup is that when we're washing our hands and we're checking our face in the mirror, we want to make sure the face we're looking back at, we like. I want to smile when I see myself. I want to say, okay, I look nice today, because that's the most important. The best addition to your face you can wear is confidence, and that comes from wearing the makeup the way you want to wear it. And that's it. Hearing, oh, you look pretty. Oh, I like your makeup today. It's nice when it's from another woman. From another guy, I love when a girl tells me my makeup looks nice. I do. But I also like to look in the mirror and know that I am doing what I want to do. All right, I'm going to take Stila. Don't get the magic wand. I have the regular one linked. Everything I use all the time, and I did link it. It is in the description. And here's how I like to eyeline my eyes in a way that keeps them open and lifted. We're going to start on the inside and add just a little bit of definition to this inner line. I don't have a lot of lashes here, so this is gonna give the illusion, it goes all the way across. This is gonna give the illusion I might have some lashes. Okay, It is top tier. Yes, yes, it is top tier hearing it from somebody else. Okay, from another woman. Yes, yes. Okay. I feel like compliments from other women is like hearing I'm sorry. It sometimes is one of the best things you can hear when it's unprompted, because sometimes it's the hardest thing to do, because you never know if somebody's going to be like looking at you weird when you compliment them. I love to compliment women. I think it's fun. I like when you can make somebody, I don't know, it's nice making people feel nice. Okay. Okay. We're going on that inner edge here, and we're just adding a little definition. The felt tip on a Stila pencil is nice, or pen is nice, and you're just adding the teensiest, tiniest definition, okay? And when we add mascara, it makes it better. I'm making them match a little bit, okay? So just the tiniest little thing. I do zoom in a lot if you're new here. Okay, now we're gonna come about a quarter of the way in. We're gonna skip the middle. If you have small eyes, if you have hooded eyes, if you have mature eyes, skip the middle, keep things lighter on the lid, especially in the middle, and then we're gonna come to this outer quarter, and we're gonna come out, and we're gonna do a tiny but mighty wing. This is not a wing. This is going to be giving our eye lift. This is a tool, okay? So you come in a quarter of the way, holding the pencil straight like this, or the pen, and you're gonna pull straight out until you hit the end of your lashes. And then you're gonna go about 1 millimeter up where your lashes start growing, and you're gonna go up. And that's where you start building that wing. You're drawing the wing, you're not going along your lashes. That's just gonna make things jagged, it's gonna make it look messy, and it's gonna make you biff it up. Now, eyeliner is like brows. They're sisters, not twins. They're always gonna look a little different, but having a little tiny pen like this gives you the ability to fix things, okay, in a really tiny pinpoint way. I'm gonna fill it in all the way to the lash line and just tapping it, and then I can rest my eye and see where it hits. But you see how it changes the shape of the eye, and it adds a little bit of lift. That's the point of a tiny but mighty. I'm not trying to do some big dramatic wing. I can add that later for tonight if I want to. But for the purpose of today, I just want to look clean and fresh and youthful, adding this tiny but mighty little lift. And I just want to add a little extra lift. So this is where I can start building on top and paying attention to where my fold lies, because if I go into that fold, it's gonna do this. Then it's gonna do this, and I don't want it to do that. So know your fold and live within it, because just adding this little tiny bit of lift is gonna add a little tiny bit of lift. I mean, my eyes are 2 shapes now, okay? Same thing over here. We're just gonna go quarter of the way in and go straight out, and I almost do little tap and pulls. Then I go up to meet, and then I color it in. Then I color it in. And then I can go and take a peek, and I'll be able to compare the 2 eyes just like that, and I could see which one I need to tweak or change, and I don't. I just have a little bump that's bugging me that wouldn't bug anybody else. Now they kind of match. There's probably little changes in between the 2, but not a big change, and it's that easy, okay? Now I'm gonna grab a really tiny brush, like the etch brush, which I'm looking for under my nose here, and I am gonna clean it off a little bit because Halloween, and I'm gonna add a little bit of that oak to the brush, and we're gonna add a touch of smokiness under the eye just to give it a little definition. I'd rather do that than use eyeliner because it's softer, less harsh. And if you have a harsh line under your eye, it can make it look more mature. Look at how nice and clean that is, okay? So we're gonna go into that oak. Let's just use this little palette here. We're gonna go into that oak with this small little smudger brush on the etch brush. This is a Saint brush. All of Saint's brushes are double-ended. And we're just gonna take that brown, and I'm just gonna give it a soft smokiness in the middle. I don't go to the outer corner, I don't go to the inner corner, I just go to the middle. Any fallout from any of my eyeshadow that hits my orbital here will all get cleaned up when I'm doing my makeup. That was always my biggest habit that I had to break. It takes 21 days to make a habit. If you forget, it's okay. But if you start putting your face on, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to start with my eyes. That's okay. As long as you haven't done your under eyes, you're good. You're good. But also, you can totally fix it. It's makeup. It washes off. It wipes off. It's okay. So just living in the middle. We want light and light and light. And that's just going to give you a little bit of a youthful look. You can't always do your makeup like you're 20 because it's not 20 anymore. And there's things that are happening around those eyes that weren't happening when you were in your 20s or your early 30s or even your late 30s. I miss those days. I'm having a hard time with my birthday coming up. Okay, so we're going to do my mascara trick. It's my favorite. It's not even a trick. It's just a method of application that I learned a long time ago, and then I've just kind of built from it because I've seen 2 different ways of applying. It really depends on the kind of lashes you like. I talk about this every single Monday, and I still have not made it its own tutorial, hopefully this week. But I like FanFest by Benefit. This is my favorite. They have a box where it comes with 4 small travel size mascaras. Anytime you're trying a new product, and it's available in travel size, get it. That's what I do when I try any kind of setting sprays. That's what I do when I try any kind of mascara. Get the travel size. It's less of a commitment, and if you don't like it, you didn't commit to a full size. This was the one that stood out in their little kit the most. FanFest is a volumizing mascara. I am 44. My lashes used to have extensions. I used to do glue-ons. I still do glue-ons when I have an event. Or if I have to, anyways, sometimes I do. But my lashes have paid the price, and they're thin, they're fine. You barely can see them right now, right? I mean, do you even see my lashes? Let's really look at me. You can barely see my lashes here, okay? They're there, but you just don't see them, okay? Hello, Pam. All right. We're gonna apply this mascara, and then you're gonna see my lashes. I use serum. I've been out for a while, so I haven't used it in over a month. I like Babe Lash, but I'm kind of holding out. Can you put setting spray on eye makeup? I would not recommend, when I set my face, it goes on. So when I use my setting spray, which today I'm gonna be using a Benefit, the Professionals, because my Blue Marble's gone. I'm kind of holding out for Black Friday. Blue Marble's my favorite. So if you're looking for something on Amazon for Black Friday or Cyber Monday or who knows, I don't know. They do sales all the time, but Blue Marble is such a good form filming. Anyways, film forming. Okay. Get a good primer. If you're wanting to set your eyeshadow so it doesn't crease, you need to get this primer. This is the primer you need to get. There is a link for it. I use the color Candlelight. I am going to be getting another one. It's so good. And then I just got this brush and I really like it. It's a bit more dense than the other one I was using. And this is a Beauty Society brush, and it is the oval fluff brush. It's just as good as the BK Beauty one I was using. Okay, so let's talk about, I wouldn't use setting spray to set your eyeshadow because it's wet. So it's gonna do what it does with powders, so no. But if it's super misty, this one, it's not gonna affect it. Anyways, don't use it as a way of, does that make sense? Am I making sense here? Okay, let's see. You wanna try it? You wanna try it? Okay, are you wanting to try the primer? You should, everybody should. Okay, we're gonna go in, I'm gonna show you my method. We're gonna zoom her on in. This is my good lash side, so this is what we're gonna do it. But oh man, this puppy would not. Okay. You should absolutely try it. Stocking stuffer. Now is the time. You know I'm going to get into this just like I did last year. If you're one of those people that, he doesn't fill my sock. Great. Seriously. I never even asked my husband when we started dating. I mean, we've been together for 15 years. Never even thought to see if he wanted to fill my sock. I was raised that women fill the sock. So fill your, like, if he doesn't want to fill the sock, then sorry, pal, you left it up to me. How did these earrings get in here? I don't know. Santa was so nice this year because you didn't want to be Santa. So now I've got my eyeshadow primer. I've got earrings. I've got a ring. I've got a necklace. I've got this new makeup. I got a whole brush set in there. Thank you, Santa. If he doesn't want to fill your sock, fantastic. Carpe diem, okay? Besides, an empty mom sock is a dead giveaway when your kids get older. Was mommy naughty? I mean, you might as well just throw coal in it if you're not going to fill it. So go fill your sock. Now's the time, because after Black Friday, you're not buying for yourself anymore. You're thinking of everybody else. And then you say, oh, crap. And then you're going in, like, I don't know, buying yourself a new ladle. Going to get an UV glove. By the way, they only come with one, so you got to buy 2 sets if you want 2 UV gloves. Like, you're getting yourself filler stuff for you. Like, God, you are the system. Genuinely, women, moms, grandmas, all of us, we're the system. Go fill your sock. Pay yourself back with his credit card. Anyways, all right, let's do our mascara. We're gonna take this. This is why I like this. I like these kinds of bristles a lot, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the base of our lashes here without stabbing our eye. We're gonna wiggle those lashes into the bristles, and then we're gonna pull up. You're not blinking. Don't blink into your wand. Then you're gonna go to the middle, do the same thing. Wiggle, 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 pull. You can squeeze them together, all right? Go to the inner part, wiggle, 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 pull, all right? Go back to the middle, wiggle, 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 pull. And what this does is it's built up. Look how my eyeliner looks like it goes all the way across. This is building volume with product. I gotta move quick before it starts setting. And then you start stacking your mascara. Instead of, you know how you used to do all your mascara and then you do this and then you'd wait, and then you'd go put a second coat on? You don't need to do that, okay? You don't need to do that. You just start stacking at the base. Don't worry about your length yet. And you just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle around. And when it starts getting clumpy, that's when you stop, because that's when you turn into a tarantula. But look at the volume, not the length, the volume. You're starting to see them. That's great. So then you're gonna go down behind your lashes on the outside. You're gonna tap the top, curl away, and pull. Just the tips, not the whole thing, because then you'll get tarantula legs. Then you're gonna go on the inner part that also meets the middle, do the same thing. Pull away, and then you start going back up. Pushing those lashes back up, because you just pushed them down. I don't curl my lashes. That scares the hell out of me. So I just do that. And that's my natural lashes. But remember how we didn't see them before? Use the tip of your wand. Don't let it be all gunky and fluky. Wipe that stuff off, okay? But use that tip to just separate those lashes if you need to. Pull them outward, pull them inward. Okay, if you need a lash comb, go get a lash comb. Saint has them. They'll probably be on sale on Black Friday. That's how you add some mascara, all right? That's how. I'm gonna show you how I do my lower lashes in a minute, because I'm gonna use a brush. All right, same thing over here. We're gonna wiggle, 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 pull, wiggle, 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 pull, wiggle, 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 pull. Back out here, wiggle, 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 pull. You just really want to coat the base, just the base. And this is why I like having the waterline, because it helps fill that base up from the bottom. Because there are sometimes people, I mean, I'm tall, I'm pretty tall. I'm 5'3¼ so sometimes people are looking up and they can see the waterline. Nobody ever does, because unless they're middle schoolers, and they're even trying to see if they're taller than me. Then we're gonna pull away, pull away. All right, and then we just build, build, build. You can tell when it's drying out. When it's drying out, stop, because then it's gonna clump, and then what do we get? Tarantula legs. All right, now we're gonna grab a brush, and it's called a lash brush. Saint has it, probably gonna be on sale, and it's a great brush. I have it over here. This is my makeup bag for when I go do people's makeup. And I get to have a little bit of a makeup break until January. So I can dig into this thing and use it on my own face again. Where is that damn thing? The lash, do I have it over here? Because I've been using it. Sorry guys, gotta put up with me on some of my dumb things. Biscuits and gravy. Aren't you Oh, there's a fan on it. That ain't it. That ain't it. Well, crackers, man. Where did I put it? I'm gonna find it. I always do. There it is. Bam. I knew I'd been using it. This is a lash brush. Now, like I said, I'm gonna use my hair so you can see it. This is a lash brush. This side is also a really great side for when you're wanting to add some smokiness too. So this is like an under eye brush. This by far, if you have fine lashes, short lashes, especially short lashes, and when you put mascara on it, you just end up hitting your skin and it just looks like crap. Your bottom lashes, okay, you sent me an email, good, okay. Come back and watch it. These are always long, we already know that. All right, so we're gonna take this lash brush, and this is just to add a little bit of definition to our lower lashes, okay? So you're gonna take your wand, always wipe the tip, and then you're gonna take this fan. I clean this fan every single time, and you're just going to go back and forth on there, and you're gonna coat the fan, just like that, okay? Then you're gonna grab your mirror. It doesn't have to be magnified, but if it is, it helps, especially if you're of an age. And we're gonna comb down on those lashes. You're not trying to get to the top at the root. You're just coating the top of those lashes, okay? Just using both sides, and this will help you not biff it too terribly bad. If you biff it, you biff it. Mascara happens. You can get those tips to give that definition, and you can get just a little bit of definition. This is what I like. But once I start adding the rest of my face, the eyes are gonna start looking better, but I probably spend the most time on my eyes, especially during the live, because it is what I get the most questions about when it comes to makeup. I don't wanna call it unachievable eye makeup, but I want you to watch a makeup video where you're like, I could do that. Anybody can do that, good. We need more videos where somebody can say, I can do that. That's what I tried to do with my Halloween. I keep seeing all these really cool Halloween makeups where they're just like, I don't know, they look like a mask set off of their face. I'm like, I can't do that. I don't want something I'm gonna have to, yeah. So there's that. Okay, so it cleans super fast. We're gonna put it in there because that's where I want it. Okay, we're gonna move on to the face because that's what everybody wants to see now because it's good. And I'm gonna use traditional makeup. Should I do the half face again just to be able to show their... If you want to do, if you have mature, dry skin, if you feel like your face is a bit dull, you want a dewy finish makeup. I need to zoom out a little bit because, okay. With that, I'm going to use Perfect 10 by Beauty Society because it's skincare infused. If you are of an age, you want as much skincare as you can get. So have your skincare, do it first. If you have skincare that your skin loves, and you know when your skin loves something, you want to do that first, let it soak in, let it do all the things, but it'll make your makeup last longer. It'll make your makeup look good. Makeup will always look like makeup. It should look like good makeup, especially when it's all over your face. We all know what bad makeup looks like. We don't want that. So go get a primer. I have a bit of rosacea. I got a little bit of a flary day. Isn't that nice? Okay. I don't think that my skin is dull. I don't think it is because I got this rosacea. But there are people, but I will say, I don't think I have dull skin, but when I put my makeup on, there's a life that wasn't there. I'm just saying, makeup is one of those things that should make you feel good. If you're not a makeup person and you're like, I don't like wearing that much makeup, don't. If you're somebody who's like, I like it, I don't like myself with makeup, don't wear it. Makeup's not for everyone. Neither are hoodies. Not everybody likes a margarita. So just saying, okay? It's not artificial life. It's self-confidence, sir. And this is not the live for you. All right, so there's the grace I gotta give. But I like giving options for makeup because I know that I feel my best in makeup. I don't think I'm ugly without it, but I really like how I feel with it. I'm fine without it. My husband's fine without it, but I feel really good in my makeup because I like how I look in my makeup. And you know, that's all that matters when it comes to makeup is how you feel in your makeup, how you choose to wear it. I'm not wearing my makeup for Nicholas F612G. And if Nicholas thinks we do it for him, can you imagine the women that are out there at home just thinking, is Nicholas gonna see me today? Probably not. And there you go. So remember, our makeup is not for Nicholas F612G. Our makeup is for ourselves. My makeup got me in the door with my husband. My husband thought I looked nice. That's why he came and talked to me at the scarf booth I was standing at. But then he took me out to dinner, and I'm telling you, your personality is what gets you the long way. I'm damn sparkling, okay? But makeup is never for anyone else. And I feel so bad for people like Nicholas F612G who thinks we're actually doing this for somebody else. We just want to look good when we see ourselves in a reflection. Okay, so I'm going to use, I want to show two things because since my rosacea is really flaring, I am going to hybrid it because I really want you to see two ways. Okay, that's also the other misconception, is that if somebody's wearing makeup, they must not like how they look without it. Not true. Never said I was ugly. Okay. No problem, Nicholas F612G. All right, so we're gonna do two things. I wanna show how I mute my redness, and I wanna show how I hide hyperpigmentation with it because I have it growing like ivy. And on one, this is the side I will do with the correctors, and I'm gonna be using Saint Creams, 80% pigmentation. Everything in here is foundation, and it's all customizable to what you want for your makeup. Then I'm going to use on this side, Beauty Society. I am mixing colors because I'm not quite my winter shade yet. So there's that. But I do get some rosacea, but I also used to break out from cystic acne really bad until I found great skincare and good makeup. So keeping that in mind, all of this is scarring, rosacea. I have hyperpigmentation. I got stuff. I still get breakouts, and I just have redness. That's my skin I live in, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my creams on this side because I just think it's fun. All right, I'm going to take a nice fluffy small brush. This is a shape brush, probably going on sale on Black Friday. And I'm going to go into these three colors here. These are my corrector colors. This is Aspen. It's a dense contour. It's gray. And I thought when I picked this a long time ago when I started doing this, I mean, I've been wearing this makeup for 6 years. Who has stuck with any foundation that long? Okay, so 6 years I've been doing this, and I thought gray will surely dull a red. And then I picked walnut contour because it's also dense and it matches my hyperpigmentation. Instead of covering it, I'm going to camouflage it like men who hide in the woods when they're hunting. And so we're going to use those two colors because they're dense. When I lay my makeup on top, because they're creamy, I want them to stay where I put them. And that's what we want, is longevity out of our makeup. We don't want makeup that looks like trash in 2 hours. We want our makeup to last, okay? And it's something we just don't have to worry about. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stamp into this gray Aspen color, all right? And I'm gonna take this red area and I'm gonna dull it. It's like hitting the mute button on your TV. You're still watching your show, you just don't hear the sound. So we're gonna take that gray and we're gonna just go right over it and dull it. You could still see my acne scars, but it doesn't have that redness that it had. You see that? And then I'm gonna go right here into my broken capillaries around my nose. And then I'm gonna hit my chin. And it just dulls it. I have some acne scarring down here, and it just dulls it. Do you see how it didn't turn me gray? Okay, I didn't turn gray. It just muted the red, okay? Then I'm gonna go over to this walnut color, and we're gonna grab that with the brush. We stipple into these because they're dense and we don't want our brushes to be clumpy and caked with cream. And I'm gonna take this color, I'm gonna turn the skin around it, a similar color, and then if you can see it, I have hyperpigmentation up into my temple and it's coming up. Because again, I'm 44 and it happens, okay? Things happen. I lay out in the sun, I sit out and have myself a margarita, because I do like margaritas. And I do like sitting by the pool in the summertime, and so I have paid a price. So I'm gonna take this color, and instead of covering this, I'm gonna turn this color similar to these colors. And then it's gonna give something for my makeup to hang on to. So I'm gonna go around it. I'm still gonna see it, but I'm gonna turn these colors up and up and up. And so it's hidden a little bit more, but it's also giving it a really good place for my makeup to grab and stay on top of. And it doesn't look crazy. I don't look like I'm turning my skin a different color, but it is a nice natural changing tone to the hyperpigmentation. So when I lay my makeup on, it's gonna help hide it. Like I said, what you see right now on my skin, look at my cheek, okay? This is what I have going on all over, okay? I've got stuff. My forehead's not as bad, but I have stuff. And so when you wear your makeup, my biggest thing is I don't want this stuff showing. And that's what I feel like everybody's looking at when they're looking at me. It's my own personal insecurities for me. And when I look at the mirror, if I see it staring back at me, it bugs me. And that's it. And then everybody internalizes their own fears, right? They're like, oh my gosh, everybody's seeing this. It's just, it is what it is. We are our own worst critics and we just tear ourselves apart. So get some good makeup so you don't have to. So I put this on and I'm gonna let my makeup go on and you're not gonna see it by the end. All right, there's my correctors on just face. We're gonna get to the under eyes in a minute, but I'm gonna stay pretty zoomed in because we are getting into my stuff and I like showing my stuff. This stuff. This is 20% pigmentation. It is full coverage makeup. It has skincare infused. I am going to put this on and it gives really great coverage, but it's not going to do what traditional foundations do, which is it's going to have movability. There's a lot of foundations out there that set and they go matte and they have all yay wear. This will give you all day wear, but it's going to need some help for it to have all day wear. And it's going to be the same thing I put on top over here. I'm going to use my Saint creams on top of this, but it's going to give me good coverage, but it's going to need some help. Insert my contour as my concealer. So we're going to put these on. I'm going to use a dense brush. This is a buff brush. This is great for if you use liquid foundation. This is a good brush, okay? It's got a small one for small areas, a big area for the big areas, and it's probably going on sale on Black Friday. Okay, so we're gonna put in the two colors. I'm going between Fabulous and Alluring. So I'm gonna pop this on. I want you to pay attention to the fact, I put too much on, that it's not soaking into the brush. It's not watery, okay? It is oil-free, but it's not watery, so it's not soaking in. And I'll probably have to empty some out on my hand once I put this on. So we're gonna put this on just the lower part of the face. I don't put any makeup up here, okay? This is gonna be all dimensional makeup up here. All right, so we're gonna put this on. We're gonna sweep this down the face and over the scarring, just like that, all right? Bringing it down, getting it over that chin area, up around the mouth, getting those broken capillaries, and just over the stuff. And then I'm gonna empty some out on my hand because I put too much on like I was doing my whole darn face. We're gonna press this out, stippling. If you have maturing skin, I'm gonna bring this down the neck just because I have excess, but you need to be stippling this makeup. It's like, you know when you sweep a floor and there's ridges in it, like on wood floors? You sweep over it, you're gonna miss those cracks, like fine lines and wrinkles. So you wanna get in, okay? You wanna get into them, so pressing it into those areas. And I'm bringing this up to my orbital bone because I have that redness. It's gonna cancel that redness out. I'm gonna bring it down the neck. I'm gonna do it over here too. Just like that, okay? I haven't even added foundation over onto this side. This gives me really good coverage, but do you see the way? Here's where skin's nice. This is why I like makeup that works with the skin you have and has the movability, because the texture of your skin, you can totally erase it with all those blurring, all those things, but the texture of your skin creates luminosity without having to add a luminous product on top. So keep that in mind. Putting that on, bringing it around. All right, now I'm gonna go in on the other side and I'm gonna use my Saint cream. So I'm going between two colors. If you use Saint and you have a good collection, you have your summer shades, you've got your winter shades, you've got your brightening shades, and you're not sure where you land, we can rematch you, but also don't put yourself into one tin. You can use multiple tins if you're needing them. I'm gonna use my blush and bronzer brush. This is my top recommending brush. It comes with a collection because it's a blush and bronzer brush. You can get a bronzer with it and it saves you $11. And who doesn't like bronzer, right? All right, I'm gonna go into Athens which is my winter shade. This is my summer shade right here. And I'm gonna do the same thing I did over here. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna balance, bringing it to the chin. And I'm just gonna balance all of this, all right? This has 80% pigmentation, so I'm getting really good balance. I'm not clumping up my brush. And then I'm gonna go over my scarring into my broken capillaries, and it's giving me really good coverage, but I have less product on my face, okay? You do need everything I've used. You're absolutely right. All right, so we're just bringing this up, but they look the same. I have more product on this side of my face than this side, but this side isn't gonna turn matte, which means it's not going to sink into my pores. It's not gonna crack apart when I talk. You can see I got these guys, okay? With my old makeup, when I was in my 20s, once I started getting into my 30s and things started happening, I would crack right here, I would crack right here, things would settle up in here, and it just wasn't working with me anymore. It was going against me. And so I was needing to find a makeup that worked with my skin. Now I can have less makeup on my face, which helps prevent more breakouts, because this can be kind of clogging to your pores, especially if you're using that all day 24-hour matte, doesn't move makeup. That's really clogging your pores. It's kind of like, when you were a kid and you got a caterpillar and you put it in a jar, but you didn't put a hole on it and it died because it couldn't breathe. You poke the holes in it and it gives the air. Your pores are those holes so your skin can breathe. So if you cover them up, you're gonna break out and your skin's gonna freak out, and it's gonna get older, and the pores stretch out because you're filling them in, and it's making them bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like stretching out a collar, okay? So Saint gives you really great coverage, less product, but now we're gonna dig in to contours. This is where your face isn't one-dimensional. You don't need to put your makeup on like it is, okay? So we're gonna grab a detail brush, because this is my second favorite brush. I recommend these two brushes together all the time. If you need correcting, I will suggest this brush too. But these are my always in with me anytime I travel brushes. So you get this guy for blush, bronzer, foundation. This guy right here blends everything together, all magic. This is your contour, your placement, your under eye brush. Okay, so we're gonna go into Cedar. This is a color I pick. Everything in a palette, when you send me a color match picture, so send me your makeup free picture, and then we can come up with a palette that's just for you on what you want, what your concerns are. I'm gonna look at your face the way I look at my face, but I'm also gonna take into account what you want for your makeup. Light, medium, dark. Anyways, okay, what are my thoughts on those face masks that you apply and peel off? Is it the ones that turn clear? I like that one. I love a good face mask. I like eye masks. I like those things. Peels, like the chemical peels, scare the bejesus out of me. Scare the bejesus out of me. Okay, we are gonna go into Cedar. So when you get color matched by me, I'm taking into account if you have hyperpigmentation into freckles, because if you pick the wrong colors, it can accentuate them, or it can make it look like you've swept something over that's too light over something that's darker. Cedar is really great if you have hyperpigmentation. So we're gonna sweep this over here. I'm gonna show you how fun this makeup can be, okay? We're gonna sweep it right here. These are your shadow zones, okay? It doesn't need to be super crazy dark, but this is your shadow zone, okay? And then we're gonna go over here, and you have a natural shadow here. We're gonna bring that down into that natural shadow, but just above it, okay? And I'm using the edge of the brush, just tapping it, and these are dense, but we're stippling because I put that corrector on and I want it to stay where I put it, okay? I go in an up and down motion because I want it, the whole lifting thing. If you click on my link, there's a form you can fill out, or you can just click the envelope and message me. The form is best. You'll attach a picture. I need you in front of a window just like I am, a couple steps back. And you can fill out the form. You'll tell me. The form is nice because it checks all the boxes of your skin type, the kind of coverage you want, and that kind of thing. And then it gives you a box to tell me your concerns, because I don't want to assume anything. And so I want you to tell me everything. So you can do it that way. Okay, now we're going to take the edge of this brush and we're going to do our nose. And I'm not going to go out here where my shadow is. I'm going to come up here. And I'm going to use my finger because it's just a little bit easier to go on the top side of my nose. Everybody's nose is a little bit different. And sometimes I'll say skip skip some things and I'll tell you why. I get pretty detailed on everything and I tell you what you want and I always add a little extras in there, but I like to recommend everything all at once. It's a pretty overwhelming letter, but I always put asterisks by the basics. So if you just want to start small, give it a whirl like the travel size method, try that, and then reference that letter back for add-ons. You don't need it all in one dime, okay? So I've got my nose right here, got it all done. Now I'm gonna go into my bronzer. I like Xanadu the best. Some people like Bella, which is pretty close to this. This one just has a little bit of shimmer to it. It had Glow Illuminator, which I think cools it down. It doesn't look like shimmer. And I'm gonna put that between my contour and my brow, right here. And then above on my orbital bone right here. Same thing over here. Same thing over here. Okay, so this is just breaking down placement for you. You don't have to apply it this way. You can do it all at one time. I'm gonna have some videos coming out about everything one at a time this week because I'm doing my makeup this way. But I have an insane amount of videos on my YouTube. Go watch some because there's something for everyone. And if there's something you don't see, tell me and I'll make it. All right, now I'm gonna go in to this guy. This is my favorite color because I'm gonna take this balm here and I'm gonna put it on my lips because they're super, super dry because I was stuck at a swimming pool all weekend. And then I'm gonna add a little more and I'm gonna put this under my eyes, right there. Under my eyes, right here. Okay? And this is just adding some hydration. If you have fine lines, great tool. If your under eyes seem a little more dry, crepey even when you put your makeup on, if you use traditional concealer, which I'm gonna use on this side with this foundation because it's Beauty Society and this has anti-aging in it, you wanna prep with a balm. All right, now I'm gonna go into this Frenchy color and I'm gonna use it in two places. We're gonna grab a little bit and I'm gonna go into where I get a little dark and I'm gonna correct with it, okay? Going up into the corner, pulling out, we're letting it mix with that balm and it's just gonna correct that darkness and turn it a shade of peach. Okay, easy, so easy. Nothing should be cakey. Makeup will always look like makeup, so don't get it confused. There's frosting and then there's makeup, okay? But your makeup will always look like makeup. It should look like good makeup. Now we're gonna go into this color again and I'm gonna smile so I can see where my apples are and that scarring. We're gonna go over the scarring right here. Now because I'm of an age and because I have some stuff on my cheeks, I don't like to have a vibrant color on the apples because one, when I'm resting, I don't have apples. And two, the dark colors, the bright pink colors are gonna grab that scarring, and it's gonna pull that spot through. So I'm gonna use Frenchy as a camouflager over that scarring and into that, okay? Okay, I closed that too soon. We are gonna put brightening down the middle of our face. I'm gonna do the under eyes last because it's so good. Okay, we're gonna take this small end right here. We're gonna go into, this is a color Sunlit, and this has yellow undertones. So if you have redness, if you have discoloration, this is really good. If you have a breakout, really good. I didn't have to prep this bad boy at all. All right, we're gonna go right here. We're gonna add like a little flower. Add a little flower. Brightening or concealers should be a shade or two lighter than your skin tone because it's supposed to look like reflecting light, okay? Okay, we're gonna take what's left on the brush, we're gonna hit our Cupid's bow because these have high points and you want to accentuate that because it's pretty, okay? Grabbing just a touch more. Your bristles should never look clumped together by creams. We're just gonna add a little brightness right here and it's just gonna look like reflecting light. You just tap that out with your finger. Easy peasy, okay? Now I can close this out and I am gonna use this brush and I'm gonna blend all of this together, then I can add some blush. But we're gonna go one thing at a time. So I'm gonna start with this brightening and we're gonna lift this out over the brows to cancel out any redness. I get red around my brows a little bit. Bringing it down between the brows just a bit, not all the way. And then we're gonna bring this upward and outward about halfway. That's it. We're just gonna leave that there. And it just creates this really nice, bright, reflecting light. I'm gonna switch to the bigger end and we're gonna start on the contour. We're gonna bridge them together And then we're gonna swirl this out. Now I have thinning hair up here because, you know, babies, although my babies aren't babies anymore, my hair just never came back. And it happens because I'm of an age and I had my babies late. All right, so we're bringing this together, and then I'm gonna go outward towards my temple, and then I'm gonna bring this in to that bronzer, and I'm just gonna blend them together. Just like that into the temple. Same thing over here, bringing it down, bringing it into the hairline, and then going a little bit into that bronzer and mixing it together on this outer part for warmth. Then I'm gonna take the side of the brush, and I'm gonna pull my brightening out, and we're gonna blend it all together. And now I have balance, coverage, and dimension. And everything is foundational coverage, okay? It's easy. That's why creams are so nice. They're very forgiving. Powders can sometimes stick and be hard to blend. All right, now I'm gonna live kind of on this side of the brush. We're gonna come down the temple, outside of that bronzer, onto that contour, and we're just gonna tap it back and forth. We're not gonna come in past the outer corner. Then I'm gonna go into that bronzer, around that temple area so they kind of meet together. And I'm gonna smile so I can see where my apples are, and I'm gonna go into that Frenchy color that I put on my cheek. Pretty simple. Same thing over here. We're gonna go out and onto that contour, going into that bronzer, and it's stippling. Don't swirl it, stipple it. It keeps that corrector where it is, but it also doesn't pick up and dig through. It's like shoveling through if you're swirling. Stipple it all around, smile if you need to. If you've got pretty apples, live with them, okay? I know that 40 is still young. I do know that, but it's not 20 and it's not my 30s. I'm the fried green tomatoes at the moment. I'm feeling the fried green tomatoes. I am too young to be old, and I'm too old to be young. And so my skin isn't the way it used to be, and so I have to do my makeup differently. I do. But I do like to talk about changing skin because I do have a lot of people that have changing skin. A lot of my customers have mature skin. And so I do like to troubleshoot those things in all my videos. Okay, now I'm gonna go to my nose, and I'm just tapping this and blending it outward and around, and I bring it together because I do have a bump. If you have a bump or a crooked nose, bridge your bronzer together on your nose. Just like that, and I'm gonna bring this up, and then, woo, okay. We're gonna take this small end, we're gonna tap into Sunlit, and then we're gonna start, you see how that brightness ended right here? We're just gonna go right down the middle, just like that. And then I'm gonna use my finger, and you just sweep it up and down, and that will give you that straightness and help camouflage any bumpiness that you have. It's still gonna be there. Texture is texture. You can't erase texture, but we don't wanna accentuate it. We just wanna enhance things. And so we just wanna work with what we have without erasing it. Okay, I'm gonna do a little neck work with some of that bronzer. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of bronzer. I'm gonna come right down here and bring it down my neck just to match it up. Boom, boom, boom. Again, my lives are always so long, especially when they're super engaging, which this week it is, and I love that so much. Okay, I like my YouTube lives because on Facebook, it's a ghost town sometimes, and I just feel like I'm having a party by myself. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna do under eyes, and I'm gonna do two things. So I use that balm and the Frenchie under both sides, but I'm gonna use traditional concealer. I'm using Incognito with Beauty Society because movability. If you have mature skin, maturing skin, you want products that have movability. If you're using something, and I'm just gonna call them out, like Tarte, it sets and it starts to get stiff and hard to blend if you let it sit. So I'm gonna show what I mean. Anytime you're applying traditional concealer, you should not be applying it like this. This is too much makeup. You should just be wiping it off because you can always grab from here, but you should be applying it like this. And you're gonna see where this natural shine is. And just like I said before, it should be a little bit lighter than your skin tone. If you have very mature under eyes, go as close as you can, maybe a shade lighter, or just use one matching. If you have a lot of texture, but texture is texture. We all have little bits of fine lines or puffiness. We have troughs. We're not getting rid of it, but we're not accentuating it. We're enhancing it, and that's the difference. So we're gonna take this natural shine and we're gonna go right into it, okay? Like a little happy bucket. And then we're gonna go up our orbital bone. And then right here, I'm just gonna add a little dash because this is gonna give me lift on my eye. So we're gonna add that. And then I'm gonna come in where my darkness lives on this inner corner. I'm gonna come down to that shine bucket and then I'm gonna go right into this part where I'm really dark and just under that trough. Okay, so we're just gonna add a little bit of that. That's all that you need. But living outside of the soft tissue. I always call this the hammock of the face. You've got your orbital bone and then you got your eyeball and then you got this guy just hanging out. So we wanna live outside of that. If you add too much product to that area, it's going to enhance the soft tissue texture, and that's where the crepiness comes in. That's where creasing happens. If you have creasing, it's because you have too much product. And some of those products, like Tarte, don't reset well. So if you're using it in this area right here and you notice you have a crack, it doesn't reset. You can't press it out. With Incognito, you can, and with Saint, you also can. So we're gonna take that small end of the detail brush. We're gonna go into that concealer, and just like we did over here, we're gonna match. Going into that happy bucket, we're gonna go up the orbital bone. We're gonna pinch this and add that little dash. And then I'm gonna go up and into that inner corner and down and into that corner right there. Less product, but I get great coverage. All right, so we're gonna take this, and the first place you're gonna blend, I'm not blending this one because I want you to see that it's not gonna get stiff and it's gonna have blending and movability, okay? So we're gonna tap onto the happy bucket first, and I always bring it a little bit into the crease and the smile line because lightness pulls out, and then I go up the orbital bone into the temple area, clean up right here, staying outside of that trough. All right, going up into the inner corner here, getting into that inner corner where it's dark, and now it's nice and blended. I'm gonna blend my cheek together. Then we're gonna go into that soft tissue last. And it gives you 80% pigmentation, means you have less product on your face, but you get the most coverage. Look at how it just brightens up. It lifts the eye up. It brightens up that makeup. It really made that really pretty coral color punch, but it cleans up the eyeshadow. So when you were kind of questioning your eyeshadow before, this is why I say, don't judge your eyeshadow until the rest of your makeup is on. Okay, I'm gonna use the buff brush because that's what I've been using with the Beauty Society products. I'm gonna do the same exact thing. We're gonna tap onto that happy bucket. We're gonna go into that orbital bone. We're gonna clean up this little area here, and these have that really good movability where it doesn't get super stiff. We're gonna go into that inner corner, blending it out, and it goes in on that side of the nose where it helps clean up that contour. Then we go into that soft tissue. Then I'm gonna flip it to this side, just blend these together, and then I'm gonna add a little extra blush because I like blush. All right, I still have brows and lips, but those can punch out pretty easy. Okay, adding blush. These are also foundational coverage and picking colors with purpose. So if you feel like you have scarring that's still pulling through, hyperpigmentation that's pulling through, you wanna pick colors that have purpose. I'm gonna be using Rosewood. This is my favorite fall Christmassy color. I'm gonna use my finger, I'm gonna add that on. I'm gonna go to the tops right here. Tops right here, just like that. Grab that blush brush, and we're just gonna smile, and we're gonna keep it up high and just blend it around on the high points of your cheeks. And it just gives it a little extra va-va-voom. Really pretty va-va-boom. And I'm gonna be using that Frenchy color on my lips too. All right, we're gonna set this. Now I have a lot of shine. I am oily. And I'm gonna set with powder. If you're dry, this will stay dewy all day and you won't have that dry looking skin. If you get oily like me, you're gonna need something that's gonna give you a little more longevity. So I'm gonna use Professionals. Saint has great setting spray. I don't find that it's best for oily skin. Beauty Society equally has set it up. I don't recommend it for oily skin. It jumped me to greasy so fast, and I can get greasy all on my own. I don't need help. And so what I use is blotting dust and setting spray. And I do it in a setting sandwich kind of way. If you ever over apply, this is a good rule of thumb. So you spray your face, get it good and damp, okay? Get it good and damp. Grab yourself a setting powder. This one I like because it has a sheen to it. So I'm still gonna get that dewy look with the fact that it's powder. Powder can thicken your makeup really easy. So you want a powder that works well with your skin. Find your low texture area where you don't have a lot, like this is high texture for me. Under eyes are always high texture. Around the mouth, smile lines, don't directly go powder to texture. So I'm gonna start on the outside and work my way around. Always get the outside of your cheek here because that's where your phone hits. And then come in and around, hit those high texture areas because like glitter, it's still there even when you don't know it. And then go to your under eyes and around onto your high texture areas. And you still get that pretty glow, but not grease. Does that make sense? Going around on that low texture area, then around, hit that phone zone, under eyes last, smile lines, and around the mouth last. And again, you get that nice skin-like, letting your skin texture be your fleck rather than going and grabbing an illuminator. You don't need to. Your skin is the illuminator. So having a makeup that enhances that rather than accentuating it is nice. Okay, and then we're gonna throw a boss brow on. I have a lot of tutorials on these. So I'm just gonna kind of bang these out. I'm gonna use oak, which is what I've used on my eyes here, and we're just gonna draw these on. I recommend if you don't know what shape you like for your brow, go on Amazon, I'm sure they're having a sale soon, and get yourself the stencils, and you are going to find your kind of shape that you like, and then use your shadows. I prefer eyeshadows to use that to draw your brows on the way you like them. I like a good boss brow. Girls know you have to do things to get treated smart. Like if I wear my hair naturally curly, I get treated like an idiot. If I walk into a room and I don't have makeup on, I get treated like an idiot. And that's just the hard truth. You have to, a girl has to, it's sad that a girl has to change things about herself just to be taken seriously. It's one of those things that guys don't think about, but if you really think about it, bro, you do. You treat women very differently, completely based off of their appearance. Okay? And I always tell people, I'm smarter than I look. I'm really not the brightest crayon in the box, but nobody likes being treated like crap. And the fact that we have to change our appearance just to get treated baseline, that's not an us problem. Okay, boss brows on. Brows matter. Let's put a lip on, and I'm going to show you how I can take this look and I'm just going to make it more of a little bit of a holiday look. And that comes from putting a lip on and just adding shimmer to your shadow. That's it. So we're going to do a red lip because I haven't done a red lip in a while. So I'm going to grab some lippy stuff, and we've just got these really great gelatos, and I'm going to use the color Hibiscus. So they're very soft. These are new, so I can't guarantee they're going to be on sale. These I don't know, but they're super soft. But that is such a pretty bluish red. It's so bright. It doesn't have that orange tone to it. It's so pretty. If you like that orangey red, there is a color for you, and it's called Melon. And it has that really pretty orangey color to it. That's so fun. But okay, here we go. I look like Lee from Stray Kids. Is that a compliment? I don't know Stray Kids. But I'm gonna choose to take it as a compliment until I look it up, and then I'm gonna say, oh, no. Okay, I've actually never been told I look like any celebrities, really. There was one, and I didn't see it, and so I don't count it. Okay, we're gonna put, I just took what was left on my detail brush, the contour, and I just smudged the bottom lip. Just adds a little shadow, so it gives your lip the look of being a little bit fuller. There is a lip tutorial on maturing fuller lips. without injections. It's, I think, pretty good. Okay, we want to do a red lip liner. There is one I want. Okay, we're going to use Scarlet. And I'm picking Scarlet because it's one of our satins, and if you can tell, there's no sheen to it. And so it's dry. You want it dry because you want to create, if you have maturing lips, you have straw lines, you don't put things on them, you need a dense lip liner. So we're just going to take, I'm using an endpoint brush. This was what I water lined with, and then on the other side it's smaller and it works as a really pretty lip liner brush. We're just going to line the lips. Really easy, not hard. It just makes it smooth like butter. All right, and we're just going to line them and line them. I have a really good lining video. I've flat out broken down my whole face into a bunch of mini videos. They're everywhere. They all start with Saint Makeup. All right, so I'm coloring in the outer corners, and then I'm gonna add my little hibiscus. Is it hibiscus? Yeah. And I don't have super full lips, and I don't do fillers and injectors. I've done a lip flip. And if you think that makes lips look fuller, no. No. What it does do is it just paralyzes the muscle in your upper lip so that when you smile, your lip doesn't curl in and look thin. So if you have a thin upper lip smile, a lip flip is nice for an event like weddings or parties because they only last 4 to 6 weeks. And they're affordable, but it makes your lips look fuller when you're smiling. I've done it before, I haven't done it in a while, so. Now my lips are normal. But adding that shadow underneath just makes it look like it has a little curl and a little bit, and I put some on the top too for that little look of curl. Now I'm gonna, oop, that's melon. Where did my other color go? There it is. Okay, this is hibiscus, yes. And these are gelatos. I think they work as a stain, but they're very glossy. They go on really smooth. They remind me of the Tarte Juicy Lips. Like I knock Tarte, but I do like their Juicy Lips. These are softer. So if you've used them, these are softer. So don't push too hard. And again, I don't know if these will be part of the sale on Black Friday. So Black Friday is where they discount current items that we already have. I just don't know which ones. Sometimes they limit to certain colors on lip and cheeks, like just satins, or they'll discount them differently. Like there's gonna be different levels of discounts, I'm guessing. I don't know if I find everything out tomorrow, but tomorrow I do find out the holiday releases. So again, if you are on my email list, keep your eyes peeled tomorrow afternoon, late morning, afternoon, because I got to put it together because I don't know anything. And so tomorrow afternoon, I will be sending an email out to all my customers. They do always get the first heads up on everything. There's no purchase required to be on my email list. So send me an email saying you want to be on it and we can get it going. All right, now we're going to take hibiscus and we're going to pop it on. And it is a really, really good holiday color. It's very bright. I'm gonna grab another holiday color that I know is coming out on the holiday releases. And that's just gonna bump things up. Where did I put it? It's in here. So this is a very vibrant red. And if you wanna take it up to a more of a deeper red, this is a color that comes out every holiday, and it's only available during the holidays unless it sells out, and it sometimes does, but every holiday this color comes out, and this is the color Ever Red, and they only release it during the holidays. So I'm going to take a brush, and I'm going to wipe off my ghost white that I used when I painted ghosts on my face. Which was so cute. And I have a different way I want to do it next year. And I'm going to take Ever Red. This will be coming out on the 18th because it does every year. And you can take that hibiscus and deepen it. Make it just a little bit of a deeper red if you want an idea. Here we go. Reds are hard. Have you done that thing where you don't put any other makeup on except for your red lip. And it's supposed to dull everything out. I'd be real interested to see what it does to my stuff. But that's the red. I like to line down a little bit down here. Ugh, reds are so hard. But this is a really pretty combo. I'm gonna put this away. Am I? Where's the box? Okay, there it is. Okay. Palettes will likely go on sale on Black Friday. They'll probably have new palettes coming out for holiday releases. They always do. But holiday look. Now we're just gonna go into some eyeshadows. And I'm gonna show you how I think. This is a good, probably gonna be discounted on Black Friday. Hot Chocolate. Hot Chocolate or Angel's Landing, but Hot Chocolate has a really high fleck to it. And it's a really pretty bronzy brown. And it's so good for the holidays. I'm gonna take that balm that I put on under my eyes. I'm gonna try to hold multiple things. We're gonna take balm and I'm gonna pop this on my lid. No, it won't crease. We're gonna pop that on the lid. Okay, I really wanna pop that on the lid. Okay, then we're gonna take Hot Chocolate. Anytime you apply shimmer, do it. Look at how chunky that is. Isn't that so pretty? All right. Oh, wait, this is Angel's Landing, even better. Where did Hot Chocolate go? Okay, this is Angel's Landing. We're going to pop this on top of that balm, and it's going to stick it. We're going to put Angel's Landing on this side, and I'll show you Hot Chocolate on the other side because I thought this was. They're very close. If you have one, you don't need the other. I'll tell you that. I don't like palettes that have the same colors. Look at how pretty that is. That just took me from day to night. Yes? Day, night, day, night. Nothing changed except shimmer, okay? Okay, yes, you have to have the, you know what my favorite shade of red is, and it's not a Saint color, it's the Pat McGrath. Who got the Pat McGrath? That one's my favorite red. This is Elson 4. I'd get it now. I don't know what kind of sale is. I don't think it ever goes on sale. All right, now we need to find my, I think I see it here. I think I got them. I did. Okay, so this is Hot Chocolate. Less flecky, but still chunky. So Angel's Landing, Hot Chocolate. Pretty dang close. So we're going to take Hot Chocolate, and I'm going to put it over the balm over here. You're going to get to see the difference. So this one's a little more bronzy. This one's a little more champagne-y gold. But so good for holidays. So one of those needs to get added to cart, but I do think that they're close enough that if you have one, you don't need the other. But I don't know. What does everybody pick first? Angel's Landing, Hot Chocolate. What's your pick? I think for Thanksgiving, I would do Hot Chocolate, and maybe for holidays, Angel's Landing. Okay. Okay, that's my makeup. This was a long one. Holy moly, this was such a long one. Okay, I have to go get my groceries. I gotta decorate for Thanksgiving today. I'm so excited. I love Thanksgiving decorations, so that's what's going up in my house today. All right. Holiday makeup. I don't know what everybody picks. Okay. Okay. Let's pull this weed real quick. Okay. That's holiday makeup. Honestly, out of the reds, if I had to pick, I would do the Elson 4 by Pat McGrath. That one is my favorite red, and I'm gonna go take some holiday pictures now because I need it for announcing my email that's going out tomorrow. So if you are not part of my email list, you need to email me to get on it. And you will be able to get a Christmas card from my family. You will get a heads up on the releases before I tell everybody else. And there's a lot of good stuff that's gonna be in there. I wish I knew what Beauty Society's Black Friday is gonna be, but they won't tell us until we get really stinking close. And I know they'll have an advent calendar, but that's all I know. And their advent calendars are chocked full of good things. Their last one had this tool in it, which was so neat. So on one side, you get a beauty blender, so you can help like reset some areas if you need to and you don't want to use your dirty finger. And then on this side, it has this little stone that is used if you have oily skin. It absorbs oil. handy little tool that's not available for sale. So they do release things that you can't buy, but they also have included a night repair. If you've ever used, oh God, Launch, is it called Launch? That lip stuff everybody used. I like this one. This reminds me of it. This was in their advent before I got to try their Set It Up. The last one also had their setting powder, which I'm just gonna say, I've never thrown away something faster. If you want a loose powder for setting, go get the Laura Mercier. It's small and it fits in your stocking. This is the time. This is the time. Here, okay. Traditional foundation mixed with Saints contours. All Saint. This side has less makeup on it. They have the same look. So I have to change this lip. I really want the Elson. Okay, so that being said, this is the time. Mark your calendars for the 18th. There will be a new eyeshadow collection coming out. Again, be on my email list. But you want to get, I'm trying to think out loud. You want to get yourself the things. So set your clocks so you can shop. I'm missing a lip liner. I want a red lip liner. You want to shop the sale for yourself. Yourself, your teens, your family. There's things for everybody. But I really want to push people, moms especially, that if they don't fill their sock, this is the time to fill your sock, okay? Don't worry if somebody else didn't do it. Look at him and say thank you. Like, oh, what did you put here? And then this is what I do to my husband. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's in my sock? And he's like, it's a surprise. It is to him. And then you get to say thank you. And he can't tell you no. He can't tell you to return it. Fill your sock. This is the time. This is the time. You can be mad at him for not getting you something for Mother's Day. Not Christmas. Not Christmas. All right, here's the Elson 4. It is so pretty. This is the red. I don't care if it was a Taylor Swift red. It's a good red. It's not too deep. It's perfect. This is like the old Hollywood kind of red. And the doe foot on it, it applies it so good. Tell me that's not pretty. Lopsided over there. Ooh, that's good. I don't have those big, like, plumpy, fat, pretty lips for the reds, but I don't give a crud. I like this red for the thin dad lips. Okay, much better. I like the gelato. So if you like a bright red, the gelatos are really nice, but I like a matte red. This is so good. Okay. This is a really good red. All right, the other good reds, I have a couple other good reds. There's Russian red. MAC has a really good deep red. What is it? Oh my God, I can't read. 995. Fashion Sweetie. It's a bit deeper, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Put it on my daughter. She liked it. Okay. Fill your sock. Fill your stocking. This is your time. Mark your calendars. November 18th is when you shop yourself, because once it's Black Friday and you start getting into the grind of making sure you have everything for everybody, you don't want to be the afterthought. You are the reason. You are the reason your kids look back at Christmas and remember things in a certain way. One of my favorite things, I have a son, he's turning 25 in just a few days. I love hearing his memories and the way he looks at holidays. The way he sees things is a product of what you created. You are the system. You are the system of the house. You are the support for how everybody's able to do the things they want to do. You are the reason why Christmas is magic. Why can't it be your magic too? So fill your sock. It's not selfish. It is selfish to sit back and complain about an empty sock, because you have no one to blame but yourself. And I'm just going to give you the hard love on that one. If your sock is empty and you're upset about it, think about last year. Remember last year. If your sock was empty last year, it ends last year. And this year, you are the support system for yourself too. We rarely think about ourselves. We have to explain why we want to have a shower. Can you help with the kids? I just really want to shower. I need to shave. Like, come on. There's a reason we're the system. Finish the system. Your sock is part of the Christmas system. It is everything. When they see every sock full, and you know what I like? I like to say we can't have the socks on the hanging on Christmas morning because they're too stinking heavy. They're too heavy. I like to lay them down like they fell off. Fill them, toe to top. Fill them, have it exploding, make it memorable. My son's favorite part of Christmas is the sock. The magic is the sock. They're empty all damn month or two. And then poof, full. The tree, bare, full. It's magic. Why is your sock not magic? It's magic. I preach this every single Christmas for the last few years. It's your sock. The sock is the magic. If your kid can't be home for Christmas, my son can't be here on Christmas morning. So he comes on, I created gingerbread day so family could still get together and have a Christmas family together. And my son gets a sock in a box. Everything that would go in the stocking, it goes in a box. There's always magic to be had, and you are the system to create whatever magic you need to. Fill your freaking sock. Okay, that's it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm going to be having this sock talk for the next 2 months. So November 18th, new releases. Day after Thanksgiving, what is that, the 28th? Sale. That's when you're getting your new brushes. If your brushes look like garbage, it's time to get new ones. They're probably on sale. You need a new eyeshadow brush. You want to try the new endpoint brush. You want to get that lash brush. Black Friday is the day to get it. You need to get some new lip and cheek colors. Holidays, come on. New Year's, you want to get some New Year's colors? Probably going to be on sale. I'm really hoping for an advent calendar. And if they do, I will be releasing a color every day. And they are so much fun. Anyways, it's the only time I get to listen to Christmas music in November because I refuse. So that's it. I should probably link this red because it's so good. Okay. Thank you. I will be back next Monday, 8:30 for another long live. Have a great day.